Yeah, now this is living. Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in a not squeaky chair, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about RuneScape. That's right, we're talking about a video game that just never ceases to amaze me, honestly. And there's a bit of news for RuneScape that makes it very much worth talking about, in my opinion. I am a bit late on this, so forgive me, but back in November, there was a pretty major update for RuneScape where it got a brand new skill, sailing. This is a huge deal, all things considered. For those of you who don't know, RuneScape is a very old MMORPG. It came out in, I want to say 2001, but don't quote me on that. And man, I remember all the revisions from way back in the day. I started playing RuneScape in, I want to say 2004. I was playing it alongside games like Neopets and Adventure Quest, if anybody out there is old enough to remember what those are. And you know, through evolution of combat, changes to the wilderness, the shift to RuneScape 2, and then eventually RuneScape 3, I eventually drifted away from it. After the release of old school RuneScape, I did come back for a bit, but I've been kind of on and off the game for the last 10 years. I'm not into it as much as I used to be. I still have an account, I still play from time to time, and yeah, I keep up with channels like Settled, who does RuneScape Challenge content, which is amazing. You should definitely check him out. But, man, it's crazy how a game that has seemed so static, so rigid for over a decade can have such a big deal as a new skill added to it. And guess what? Sailing is a big deal because it's not just a skill, it's an entire new experience for RuneScape. It's the first major skill added to the game, the first real skill added since Hunter and, no, Slayer. No, Hunter. Was Hunter or Slayer added most recently? I want to say it was Hunter, which was back in like 2006. And regardless, it is the first skill added since old school RuneScape was created, since it broke off from regular old RuneScape to become its own retro thing. There's a lot going on in sailing. This is not a RuneScape channel. I'm not going to try to break down the intricacies of a brand new skill, but I want to say there's all kinds of cool stuff going on in it. The new ships, the ship types, crew members, NPC crew members to take with you on sailing adventures. You can do package running, you can fight sea monsters, you can equip your boat, you can modify it with cannons and all kinds of cool tools. There's a brand new map basically for the game with islands to explore, dangerous parts of the sea, sea events, salvaging, fighting sharks and such. And really, and it ties into a bunch of skills. There's a whole bunch of skills that tie into sailing as well, and the various things you can do as a sailor. And really, it does feel like this brand new, huge expansion to RuneScape that really does grow the game out in a really significant way that a lot of people have been asking for a while. And say what you will about Jagex, but for most things, I think they really do take player input into account because they've put a lot of love. It's very evident to see, even for someone who admittedly does not play the game a whole lot, it's very evident that a lot of effort and a lot of love was put into sailing skill to make it as good as possible out the gate. And yeah, there's a lot to be excited about if you are a die-hard RuneScape fan. This basically increases not only the map of the game, but the amount of things you can do exponentially. It's really great, but it's not all perfect in paradise, because while there is a lot to be excited about when it comes to sailing, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of hype, and a lot of holy crap, they finally did it going around. There is something I have noticed out there on the internet from people who admittedly play RuneScape a lot more than I do. So just to frame it with, I don't play RuneScape as much as these people clearly do. There's a lot of people out there who seem to be really upset about sailing for one particular reason. That is, it's a members-only skill. It's not available to free-to-play players. And there's been some people out there on the internet in various corners going, oh, it's unfair. It is not right that only the paying members get access to sailing. And to those guys who have clearly do enjoy this game a lot, clearly do love RuneScape and play it very frequently, I say no, it's not unfair that the people who are footing the server bills, footing the R&D, footing all the developments and changes and updates and new bosses and new enemies and new areas and new skills. No, I don't think it's unfair that the people who are actually footing the bill get access to the shiny new skill, and that the people who've only ever done, I shouldn't say never paid into it, because there are people who primarily do free-to-play but occasionally have memberships. No, I don't think a members-only skill is unfair in any real way. In fact, I think it's quite the opposite. I think it's a nice reward for those people who have showed diligent support for a game that they love for so long. Sailing is an amazing skill from everything I've seen. And having that skill and that experience that opened that new ocean map and all the islands to explore, having that available as a reward to the people who have supported old school RuneScape, kept it alive, kept it afloat for all this time, through better and worse. There have been some serious debacles with RuneScape that these people have continued to support it through. To make it so that it's members only, it's not a big deal. There's other members only skills. There's a plethora of members only skills. Hunter and Slayer being just among them. There's entire chunks of the map of Galenor that are off limits to free-to-play players. There's entire areas of the game, there's entire experiences that free-to-play players will never get to experience. So no, while I do think it's a bummer that some people will just feel this way, no, I don't think it's unfair for sailing, the new hot skill, the brand new expansion to RuneScape. No, it's not unfair. In fact, it's very fair that the people who are supporting the game get rewarded for their support. That's not to say that I don't think free-to-players should be thrown a bone from time to time. I would like free-to-play to have a bit more content from time to time actually being updated, or some underutilized areas being used, but that can be a topic for another video. Again, not a RuneScape channel. But the other thing that I want to talk about here before I end this video, because this should be a quicker one, is to point out that there's a lot of MMOs out there. Not all of them last. Not all of them last nearly as long as RuneScape has. And there's a reason for that. Keeping players engaged, keeping interest in your game afloat is a difficult thing, and it's very difficult to balance that with things like fairness, actual game balance, and the price structure of your game versus the active community, the secondary market, all that jazz. There's a lot that goes into keeping your players satisfied, happy, and coming back for more. RuneScape has done it very well for over 20 years, keeping people interested and engaged with their game. And I think the addition of sailing and the new experiences it provides, the new chunks of the map it opens up for members, I think it's going to extend the game's lifespan exponentially into the future. Because again, this is the first new skill in what? Almost 20 years, 19 years, something like that. This is the first new skill in 19 years. The game has survived this long without a new skill up until this point. Sailing is definitely going to stretch out the lifespan of old school RuneScape for a very long time, I think. This is a good thing. I'm super excited about it. I might, at some point in the future, even grab a membership of my own just to try out sailing and maybe try to get 99 Slayer 2 while I'm at it. That would be fun to actually finish that. But yeah, overall, what do I think about this brand new expansion, this great new update? I like it quite a lot. I'm super excited about it. And I think there's a lot of reasons for people to be excited about it. And I don't think a lot of the negativity that we see online, what little negativity there is, because there's not a lot of it, but I think that negativity is misplaced and is just sour grapes being sour grapes for the sake of it. So pay it no heed. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you kids today. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below. Do you play RuneScape? If so, why? I know I do read all of your comments, and I enjoy the support that it gives to the algorithm. Beyond that, check out the Discord, check out the Patreon, check out RuneScape if you haven't. It is a really fun game. And thank you guys so much for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.